Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online.
Good day, class. Today we are going to have a quick road safety lesson. Step 1. Always stop when you get to the road. Step 2. You have to make sure to look left, right, and left again. And as soon as you don't hear or see any more cars, then you are free to cross the road. Remember everyone, look left, right, and left again. Now everyone, I hope that you will continue to cross the road safely. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is properties. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. So let us take our sanitizer and we rub inside our hands, around our hands, in between our fingers, on our wrists, and our fingertips too. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be doing reading comprehension, writing, and measurement. For our lesson now, boys and girls, let's all go to page 9. On page 9, we are going to start with a reading comprehension. Now, as you know, when we read our comprehensions, we read them 3 times. The first time is to understand what the story is all about. The second time is to make sure that we hunt for our answers after reading the questions. And then the third time is to make sure that the answers we have been given or the answers that you have given are correct. So let's read our comprehension a first time. They're giving us the meaning of sink or float. Float means being on top. And then sink means to go down at the bottom. Let's read. Rocks are made of matter. Ships are too. A lot of things tell about matter. One thing is if it sinks or floats. When something is put in water, it pushes some of the water. Some things push away a lot of water. Some things push away a little. If they push away enough water, they float. If they do not, they sink like the rocks. It can be hard to guess if something will sink or float. A ship is big. It weighs a lot. A ship looks like it cannot stay on top of water, but it does. So, this has been our comprehension passage, and it's all about the properties we were talking about, either sink or float. Now that we have read our comprehension a first time, let's now take a look at all the questions we need to answer. Remember, we will read each one twice. Number 1A says, write down the word that means to stay on top. Write down the word that means to stay on top. Number 1B says, write down the word that means go to the bottom. Write down the word that means go to the bottom. Number 1C says, write down the word that means the opposite of pull. Write down the word that means the opposite of pull. Number 2A says, rocks dash in water. Rocks dash in water. Number 2B says, boats dash in water. Boats dash in water. So you're going to choose between the two answers on top, sink or float. Number 3 says, some things float because. Some things float because. So for number 3, it is up to you to find out why some things float. And I'm sure the answer is also in the passage. For number 1, you are going to write only one word for each of them. Number 2, your words are either sink or float. And then for number 3, you are going to complete that sentence using the information in the passage. So now that we are done with that, it's going to be your job today to read it a second time. Make sure now when you're hunting for your answers, you have your eyes and ears wide open. Please, when you're reading it a second time, slow down so that you can look for your answers. And then when you are done answering, boys and girls, you are going to make sure that you read it a third time to see if your answers are correct. So have fun with this one, boys and girls. Take your time, there's no rush. And then when you are done with this one, I'd like you to turn to the next page, page 10. On page 10, we are going to be writing. Today, what we're going to be writing about is all about regular verbs, changing to the past tense. Now, we already know what verbs are. Verbs are doing words. So today, we are going to change all the words that are in brackets into past tense. Let's try and do number 1 together. Now, before we do number 1 together, I want to show you what it means to put some words in past tense. We have on the board 3 words: played, talked, and watched. All 3 of these were in future tense or regular verbs, But what changed them was to add ed so that they can become past tense. Now, normally this works for all words, but not for every single one of them. There are some words where you actually have to double the last letter so that you can get the past tense. This one is the same for number 1. We say, I robbed a bank. Now, the word that we were given was the word rob. So in order for us to make it correct, we had to add another b. And then we added our e and d. So the word rob in present tense has changed to robbed in past tense. Now, like I said before, it's not the same for all the words. We have the words watched, talked, played that are still just adding ed. So first try and use ed, but if it doesn't look right, then double the last letter and see if it looks correct. Take your time, use the pictures that you've been given, and read the sentences out loud so that you will know whether or not you have done the right thing. I'll see you when you're done with both exercises after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
For our lesson now, boys and girls, let's all turn to page 11. On page 11, we are going to be doing measurement. Now, we already know what liters are and milliliters. So today, we're going to do capacity in terms of looking at a jug with water and then reading the measurement. We have a jug that has 5 liters of water. For the first question, it's going to be our job to write down how much or how many liters the jugs we can see are holding. To help you with that one, I want us to take a look at the board so that we know how to read. Now, on the board, I also have a jug with water. Now, if we're going to read that jug, we need a ruler. Not to really measure, but to look at where the volume of water ends. So instead of using our ruler this way today, we're going to use it horizontally, which means if we want to know how many liters there are, for example, I'm looking for 3 liters. I put my ruler where 3 liters is, and I know that this is the 3-liter mark. So go ahead and try the same as well. This is why we need our ruler. If I'm looking for 1 liter, I put it where the 1-liter mark is and I check with my eyes. This way, I know that 1 liter is just close to 0 liters. So if there's nothing inside, it's 0 liters. Then from here, we have 1 liter. Using my ruler, I can see 2 liters here. 3 liters is here. Then using my ruler again, I can see the 4 liters. And then 5 liters would be right where the water stops. So take your time when you're reading your liters. And don't forget when you're doing number 1 to double check by using your eyes. Let's now see what number 2 wants us to do. For number 2, it is a little different now. We have been given the containers. Our job is to color the correct answers in the boxes below. It says that the bathtub can hold 20 liters. The bottle is 1 liter and the jug has 3 liters. So you need to read all the sentences. And then after reading all the sentences, please, boys and girls, make sure that you color the correct answer. So take your time and look at the pictures carefully and how many liters they are holding. I will see you when you're done after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 10 different languages.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson and I hope you had fun. I know I did. Remember, if you're not sure what to do or you got confused, that's okay. You can always ask an adult for help. But make sure that you finish your work by yourself. So now that we are done with our work, which was a lot, it's time to sanitize. Remember, we sanitize to keep ourselves safe. So make sure that when you sanitize, you are also helping someone else to sanitize the right way. You can show them how to sanitize, just like what we do in the classroom. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. I think I saw a little blue head somewhere sneaking up on us. Oh, there you are, Sashi. Hello. So, from Sashi and I would like to say thank you for joining us today and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.